So welcome to our show, the very compassionate Khalil Sakakini. Welcome, welcome.
You. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. I think you're my first ordained animal chaplain for Legged Life Show.
There aren't many of us around, maybe 10 or 12 in the entire country, to tell you the truth.
You know, I gotta ask you. I'm betting, you know, like a dog begging for a bone.
Go for it.
What's going on? What motivated you to become an ordained chaplain, and how do you become one?
Yeah. Well, ordained chaplain and, of course, a non-denominational pastor, as well as a credentialed and certified grief counselor and pet grief counselor. That doesn't answer your question.
You wear many collars in the world.
I get many collars. I love it.
Wait a minute, that could be dog collars and religious collars.
We won't go there because it's so spiritual.
All right, spiritual.
We want to get canine. It happened, as it happens with a lot of people. I lost a very beloved animal. She was a big, big cat, and she was a big love. And look, we love all our animals.
Right, I understand.
Some are bigger than others.
What was your cat's name?
His name was Cairo, Kyro. And he was everything to me. And when he died, I looked for help because I couldn't stand the pain of the loss myself. There wasn't any. Therapists treated it as a mental illness, something to be fixed. But there's no pill for sadness. It's not a mental illness. It's a spiritual and emotional pain, and I got no help there. So to make a long story short, after being off the rails and wandering the streets and maybe drinking too much and too much therapy, I ended up at a theological institute where they had the one and only course on animal chaplaincy, which I took, which was rigorous, difficult. I loved it. That led to being an ordained pastor. And then from there, it was a natural extension to become a credentialed grief and loss and bereavement counselor with pet sympathy.
Well, I think your spiritual Cairo is very proud of you because you're now helping others, the 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there, right?
I believe they lead. I mean, I believe animals are the angels in our better selves. And it's my full and total belief they come into the world to teach us. And when they leave, we're bereft. The better part of us is gone. That Robert Louis Stevenson quote is so brilliant. Dear Lord, let me be the person my dog thinks I am. And so animals bring out the absolute best in us. When they leave, our biggest fear is we'll revert back to our narrow, shallow, judgmental selves.
You said a statement that really resonates. You said that they are angels of our better selves.
Our better selves. They bring out what is good and best in us, the kind of stuff that we try to bring out on our own through meditation, through therapy, through mindfulness. I'm not putting that down. That's good. But animals bring it out in a way that bypasses the intellect, bypasses the verbal, bypasses the conceptual. It's just an unjudgmental, beautiful love. Because with people, you know, when they die or when we split up, as you refer to that, there's always mixed feelings. There's acrimony, there's failure, there's infidelity, there's judgment. Human animal bond doesn't have those complications, those corruptions.
No.
It doesn't. So being freed from all those negative imprints, then love is just so much more beautiful. And so when it ends, come on.
Yeah.
That part of it was gone.
Well said. Well said. We want to cover divorce, the breakup, but we also want to cover some other aspects of what you all do. But, you know, I know that the song Breaking Up is hard to do, but I think they needed to add another verse because it takes a toll on our dogs, our cats, our really bonded companion animals, right?
We're only just beginning to grasp that. Just beginning to get it.
So tell us what happens because dogs and cats, they like routine. They crave routine, and they do form bonds with us, though we are just humans.
And each other.
And each other. So here comes a couple, and they have 2 dogs, and the couple says, hey, it's not working for me. And one takes one dog, one takes the other. What's happening?
All right, here's the jam.
I like that word. Yeah, jam.
All right, here we go. Here we go. At one level, look, animals are considered almost in every state in this country, if not the entire country, property.
Exactly.
Just like a piece of furniture, just like the toaster, just like the chair. At the same time, they are emotionally placed. This interesting study by Tufts University Health and Veterinarian Department and the National Institutes of Health. When they do a family circle, families place the pet at the center of the circle and often closest to all the family members. So you've got the law seeing the animal companion as a property. Emotionally, the animal is profoundly integrated with your life. So you've got this collision course.
Yes.
It tears you apart. It tears the animal apart. It tears the human participants, their spouses apart. And then if they cannot come to a positive reconciliation, then the court has to make a decision. And guess what? The court will make a decision on, let's say, who paid for the pet.
Oh.
What name is on the receipt? Who gave the pet to whom? So what do you think? That does not take into account the emotional situation, but that's how the laws of property work.
So what impact does that have? Let's go with the pet. What are some signs that you can feel in the pet that's saying, I am also mourning my other human or my other pal? What should people be looking out for in the pet?
Unless they're obtuse, they will not fail to miss it. It's the same thing you would expect in a child. There is confusion. There is lethargy. There is loss of appetite. There is withdrawal. There's crying. There's whimpering. There's scratching at the door. There's a kind of, I hate to anthropomorphize, but a kind of depression.
Well, I think that animals are sentient beings. They do have emotions.
They are totally in mourning. They totally feel the grief. They totally feel the loss. And shame on us that most of us say either things like, well, they'll get over it. But guess what? That's the exact same kind of reference people make when a pet dies, as opposed to being taken away in a divorce or somebody else dies. They're in a better place. They'll get over it. It won't last long. That's not true. That pet will feel that loss. In many ways, it's a function of how that divorce went down. If it was positive, good, amiable, and they split the kind of custodianship, some dogs will adjust to that beautifully. 1 weekend with mom, 1 weekend with dad. They'll feel it, but if they're close together physically and have that shared connection, it may work out. Other dogs won't handle it. But if it's acrimonious and one has to give up the animal because of legal reasons or other reasons, that's a disaster.